Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. I have what I think is going to be a very interesting game here today. We are taking a look at Dewalt once again. And, you know, sometimes when I do a Dewalt replay, Dewalt, of course, being, in my opinion, the strongest non-Korean player outside of maybe one or two Chinese players, you know, sometimes it will look pretty one-sided. You know, you put Dewalt against someone like Sulky, okay, yeah, but Sulky makes the best players in the world look really, really bad right now. So maybe that's not the best choice. Now, who Dewalt is up against here, this is Ample, who I think, I haven't casted a lot of him lately, but he's one of the more fun Terrans to watch. He is unbelievably aggressive. Okay, take someone like Speed or Sharp and dial it up to 11 and break off the knob. This is a guy that will throw caution to the wind and attack Protoss more than any other Terran that I've seen at the pro level. Now, Ample, instead of someone like Sulky, who seems like he literally can't lose an SSL, Ample is a player here who is like kind of struggling to get in, right? He's in some seasons, he's not in other seasons. And in fact, I'd say he's been out more than in, but he's still a very, very good Terran player. So I think that this is going to be a great game here on Dominator. I sure hope so. And yeah, really looking forward to seeing what this is going to end up looking like stylistically. Is Ample going to keep that very aggressive style that I've come to kind of know and love and sold to you guys, or tried to at least? As far as Dewalt, I think he'll play probably just a pretty modern game, probably lots of speed shuttles, but we'll see. And, you know, it looks like pretty standard openings, like probably a factory expansion versus probably like Dragoon expansion type of play here from Dewalt. So while we kind of wait for that, I do want to thank you guys for checking out our ArtosisCasts. I really do appreciate it. Big thanks to everyone who has supported on the Patreon. That's patreon.com/Artosis. There is a link in the description if you would like to check that out. But yeah, again, big thanks to everyone for that. And if you'd like to support, that's a great way. Another way is just interacting with the video, whether you subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment, all that great stuff. I do try to read the comments while I'm on the toilet. So big hi to everyone who says hi to me while I'm doing that. Okay. Anyways, it is a Zealot first here from Dewalt, and, you know, Ample a little bit lucky to scout first, if that's the case. I imagine he'll go third depot. You don't 100% have to. You could do something like make your bunker right away. If you make your bunker right away, it might be like a 2 Marine expansion. He is going to make a 3rd Marine as well, and this is fine. It's very, very safe. Like, you're not really worried about dying, but it's not super well optimized. I think there's there's such a variety, right? If they go for Zealot first, you can go 3rd depot. You could go 4 Marine Vulture into the expansion. You could go 2 Marine Bunker. 3 Marine Bunker is by far the safest. But as you can see, it is going to slow down the command center a little bit here. And he's actually skipping an additional SCV here. So yeah, it's not super, super well optimized. But the thing is, he's going to be completely safe, and that's important. Now, the Zealot and the Dragoon both coming down. Kind of a nice hit there. Getting a little bit of extra damage done. Really putting a lot of damage onto that Dragoon. And as the Zealot comes up, like, he's actually going to destroy everything. I'm surprised Dewalt turned around with that. And then starts to run forward. The Zealot can't do anything as long as you micro the Vulture. It's just going to... everything's going to get crushed. And look, he does not get the Vulture. Really a bit better micro there, I think, and a bit better decision-making, perhaps, from Ample. But as I say that, dude, Dewalt loses the Dragoon, but brings another one back, and he's actually going to be able to pick off all the Marines with this. Like, the health just wasn't high enough on them to guarantee these kills. Ooh, maybe a little bit of miss micro there, but aiming himself to get out. Lands the barracks to make some more Marines. In the meantime, the Vulture goes across the map. The next Dragoon is not actually out yet, but the probe can actually get the snipe. Yeah, you see he brings it up, so as it comes down the ramp at the funny angle, he's able to snipe it. So really well done there by Dewalt. And at the end of the day, after that little exchange, I would definitely say that exchange went a bit better for Ample. Not end of the world bad for Dewalt, but it plays into what Ample probably wants to do, which would be some pressure-based play. Now he's making his first siege tank. He should be adding the second factory at any moment here. That's generally what you see, but it's actually an armory. Okay, so Ample is playing a little bit counter to what I was talking about. In fact, this is a little bit of an older style. Armory eBay is not particularly popular right at this moment. It was incredibly popular for a while, but it's been a while since that's been considered a very strong build. I don't like it. I actually was talking with Scan about it. He doesn't like it right now, which is funny because a lot of times this might be part of Ample's strength in a way. When people are liking armory builds, he's more likely to attack. Maybe when they're more like people are liking attacks, he's more likely to do a more laid-back approach. Play kind of counter to the metagame, right? That is one way you can really play, is to just kind of go against the main grain. And I think it's not superb, because when you hit players that are very, very strong, they'll generally just block something that's not meta reasonably well. Because the meta is the meta for a reason. It's going to be like what does well against the field at a given moment. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. And honestly, looking at the builds, Ample's build is good against Dewalt's build. So he just laid like a few mines here, and he's gone into siege tanks and armory for +1, and he's playing against 3-gate observer. So you actually see Dewalt is playing counter to Ample's style here as well. Ample being such an attacker, if you go 3-gate observer, you smash any incoming attacks. Smash them. Like, you might win the game if they attack you type of power. And here, because he's gone for a very defensive play, like, look at that. Siege mode on the way before even a second factory. His armory still going about a third the way, done that upgrade. So this looks really good as far as the openers go. Ample got a better opener. When you compare the two openers and how they go against each other, Ample's is better. It's like just a little bit stronger overall, but you know, obviously there's like a lot of play here. Dewalt has a lot of units to play with. Ample's production is very low, so there's no chance on him ending the game anytime soon. And with his third command center starting at 730 off of one factory, that's kind of insane. That's really, really fast. Standard right now for a third base is much closer to 12 minutes. So he's taking this so quickly, and Dewalt sees it. So from here, Dewalt has to decide, does he do mass units? Well, he's already started a shuttle and a bunch of zealots, so I think we are going to see an attack, and I think it's going to do pretty well. Like, this looks like an area that could be broken if the shuttle comes up. And in fact, he just walks forward. He says, screw it. This is a great time. Let's go. Loses one goon so far. He does pick a tank. He's going to lose another couple goons here, it looks like. These goons actually missing infinity shots uphill there. Loses about 4 goons for 2 tanks, which is not perfect. But as these zealots come in, I think he's going to have another great opportunity here. And yeah, gets on top of that siege tank. Dude, Dewalt just, oh my God, walking forward, killing so much. He needs to kill this SCV. This is a top tier priority. Yeah, I think he's going to have to cancel the command center. Oh my God. Dewalt getting really, really far ahead. Oh, poor siege right there. This tank actually slid forward. He told it siege here and it siege there. Not that that was going to change too much here, but it did slide a little bit. That's unfortunate for Ample. He has to cancel the command center, and that's 3 depots that are going to be taken out as well. So he's actually getting very far behind at the moment. Command center on the way. He's going second add-on, which is definitely correct. His supply is so low, though. And look at Dewalt just add on the gateways. Really, I think the only thing missing here for Dewalt is the Citadel. He is getting shuttle speed, which is nice. But he really should just get a Citadel, because if you just start Zealot legs, this game, it feels to me like it goes pretty easy for Dewalt from there. Because he's just going to out macro by such a large margin anything that can be done on Ample's side. I honestly don't know how you could ever win from this spot. Kind of a funny game out of Ample, because he got that great opener. It's just this was such a greedy play to go 1 factory, 3rd command center. You know, here's the thing, okay? If you go for these armory openers, like an Armory eBay, economy-wise, it's really, really, really strong. You're not going for Academy. You don't skip 4 SCVs by making comsats. You know, you just make exactly the amount of turrets that you feel that you need. Now, that being said, yes, that's very strong, but he has no way to know what Dewalt's doing. Like, if Dewalt was doing a Reaver opener, if Dewalt was doing 2-gate observer into a third base, oh boy, that was bad. That was a flub. But if Dewalt is doing 2-gate observer into an expansion, or you know, a quick Reaver play into observer into expansion, that type of thing, this third base might be okay. It might be okay. In fact, even if it's like a 2-base Arbiter Rush, I bet you this would actually be okay. But he happened to hit something where Dewalt had a hell of a lot of units. So Dewalt just kind of walked in and killed everything. And that's one of the risks that you have when you're trying to be greedy in such a way. And these very fast armory builds can have a hard time scouting out what's going on. Whereas if you have some sort of build that has a pressure in it, whether that's going to be, you know, the 2 factory play, or even like a 1 tank push, you can sometimes start to read what's going on. You know, there's just so many choices to be made on how you want to play a StarCraft game. And we can see how this has backfired for Ample. Now, looking at this game, let's talk about what is okay for Ample here. Or, in fact, even I would go as far as to say very good. His upgrades are looking really nice. He has 2-1 on the way. He has Goliath range on the way as well. And his SCV count is phenomenal. He really didn't lose SCVs when he got hurt over there. So the fact that he was up 1 worker, and he's going to be up a little bit more because there's a little bit of vulture harassment going, and actually does a lot better than I thought it would there. He actually gets himself up 6, so he gets about 5 kills. Yeah, 5 kills exactly, it looks like. And so that's really good. His worker count is fantastic. He's added factories. He's still kind of low on factory count, so it's a little bit scary. But if he can hold on to this, if he holds on right here and doesn't lose too many siege tanks, might still be all right. Now, Dewalt has a lot of speed zealots, and he does drop right on top of those siege tanks as well. Kind of a funny couple tanks back here, by the way. But yeah, it looks like Dewalt will be able to clear everything there. Now, Dewalt moving forward, he's going to be able to pick off some of these turrets. He's dealing some damage. I don't think he kills the base or anything, and in fact, the SCVs are still alive. The real problem here for Ample is his production, because he's playing on just 5 factories at the moment. And oh my god, you know what? I think he had his barracks floating to tank some hits and scout. And the fact that he lost that is actually a really big deal, because he actually needs to add factories. Look at his bank right now. Like, you simply must add your factories. If he could just have like 9 factories right now, I'd be like, you know what? I think Ample's in pretty good shape. But on 5, it's a little bit tougher. He got broken. You can't, if he gets broken again and loses a bunch more siege tanks, that's going to be a position I'm not so sure that he can really come back from. Now, Dewalt looking pretty strong, adding some more gateways, has a decent amount of speed shuttles in there. Looks like he's getting observer speed right now as well. So kind of filling out some of these upgrades. Would love to see a 5th base out of him. Still kind of on the edges here of what Ample has. And you can see as soon as that barracks finishes, Ample starts throwing down a bunch of factories. 2 there. There's a 3rd. So going up to 8 immediately. You know, honestly, I think he should go up like 2 more. Like, he needs to basically not make another SCV this entire game and just focus on units, because he's got, well, almost really great upgrades. His +2 is just now finishing. He's +2 armor is already going. So his upgrades are good. Dewalt's only on 4 base. If Dewalt was on 5 base, this would be a lot scary. He has started his 5th, and in fact, Ample scans at, okay, Ample starts his 4th. We actually have a pretty decent position, considering he just has to live a little bit longer here. But hold on, these storms that might come out could ruin everything. Oh my god, and yes, in fact, they will. Absolutely decimating the vulture count, making it really hard to hold on. The siege tank's going to be picked off as well, and in fact, he's going to lose this command center. Okay, this right here is a moment that I'm not sure you're going to be able to come back from. as Ample. If he could have kept this alive, this was just getting into an okay spot for him. His supply was kind of starting to catch up a little bit. The lateness of the 5th base of Dewalt was kind of nice for Ample. But now that he's lost his 3rd, yeah, he has a 4th on the way, but his mineral patches are getting low. He needs to make sure he's mining as much as possible and just railing units out. So I think Dewalt has done a really good job of kind of keeping him on that back foot. He's just kind of Dewalt has had a tempo advantage for the entirety of the game. I think that's probably a good way to put it. This tempo advantage has done very, very well for him. And, like, it doesn't look like he's going to let up. You can see he's now adding a Sankarobo. That's kind of a funny Sankarobo timing. It's, like, kind of late for it, but okay. He has his 5th base. He has a lot of speed shuttles in here. The only thing Ample really has going on at this point is great upgrades. So 2-1 with +2 armor on the way. I'd love to see him start +3 attack. He is getting EMP and vessels, so that's kind of nice as well. And Dewalt getting ready for another attack in. Okay, he is going to bomb in here once again. Pretty decent mine line there. He does have a good spread of the siege tanks. That storm not really doing as much, trying to get a lot of vultures because of his zealot count. And it looks like Dewalt is very close to breaking through. The thing is, even if Dewalt is losing his army every time he does this, he's getting ahead because you really need to be building up your long-term units, such as siege tanks, in these positions. And we just don't see Ample able to do that. Now, Dewalt going up towards that 4th. The 3rd command center has been remade, so maybe he's able to retake that base, but killing off yet another siege tank. It's just Ample is never going to get the army he needs to truly move out of the map. And as long as Dewalt aggressively trades and occasionally makes a nexus, he should be pretty good to go. With 5 more speed shuttles loaded up as this attack gets cleaned out, how are you going to block those 5 speed shuttles? He could actually come into the side and deal a lot of damage over here. We don't really see mines or anything. Here come the 5 shuttles bombing into that base. And, well, that's a hell of a lot of turrets. Eats a lot of turret shots. And in fact, the units Dewalt drops off are not the best units that you could be dropping here. And you can see that they're getting cleaned up actually really, really easily. What are the upgrades on Dewalt? Yeah, he's got +2 against 2-2. So definitely a little bit better upgrades here for Ample. It actually felt even more. I was thinking we might see like +1 only or something with how heavily those units got destroyed. But he continues to hold on. The new base, or the remaking of this old base, is done. Can send some more SCVs there as well. 4 speed shuttles coming in once again. Lots and lots and lots of zealots in there. He's just trying to deal any damage he can. In fact, throws out some size storms here. Oh my god, drops into 39 SCVs. Getting some good storms off onto those siege tanks as well, and he should be able to kill those off pretty easily. Okay, that's game. That's game. There's no coming back. This is just too much damage built up. So, I want to... Because, trust me, the game is done. I mean, look at the spy. It's very easy to see. And when you hear mass scan like that, that's just the Terran player being like, oh, okay, what does he have? Like, kind of taking in a bit more information on what the game state looked like, basically. Okay, so I want to actually just talk for 1 second about how what I think about the way that this game was played. Because I think that... okay, so Dewalt played kind of counter to Ample's style with the 3 gateway observer. And Ample played counter to his own style, which gave him a better opening. But then he took the 3rd base really quickly with no real intel. So I think taking the 1 risk of playing slightly off meta, slightly against your own play, and taking the armory very, very quickly and not making that many units, okay, that can be good. But to also fast expand with really no intel, it's like, yeah, you have some turrets and stuff, but basically any Protoss in modern day right now, they generally get a lot of units in a shuttle really quickly. And that's part of the reason why you're seeing a lot more unit production early on from Terran. You don't really see 1 or 2 factories into a third base. So there was a very small amount of builds that the fast third was going to be good against. Maybe like a 2-gate observer going into a third nexus quickly. But the thing is, he had mines. He had a mine here. He had a mine here. So he knew the third wasn't particularly quick. You know, so maybe it would have been good against that. Maybe it would have been good against a 2-base Arbiter if he hits his factory timings just right. The Reaver, like I was mentioning before, I'm like, maybe Reaver, but the more I think about it, with the surface area you have in these bases, I don't think it would have been that good against Reaver. I think that he would have gotten whittled down on the edges. It would have been very hard to hold such a wide area. So I just think that that was one risk too many for Ample after having an opener that was good. And Dewalt kept the advantage up. It was a little bit messy at times, but he kept that advantage. He kept the tempo going in his favor by continually trading out and killing siege tanks. So pretty well executed from an advantage after forcing a cancel in the third base by Dewalt. Good opener by Ample. Almost a great recovery. If the barracks hadn't died, maybe he adds the factories quicker and then he holds his subsequent attacks a little bit better, and then we're still in this game having a good time. But an interesting one. I guess that's it. I guess that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.